Hey guys, and welcome to another weekly trading video. Since we started these videos, we have seen some really good returns on the portfolio. As you can see right here, we just broke the 30%, really good. So at the moment we are here at 30% on the portfolio. I've taken you along the whole journey, and in this video I'll talk exactly what happened in the last 2 weeks. The last time we talked was somewhere around here, which since then we've seen a little bit of a bumpy ride, and I'll get right into that in this video. First, I'd like to talk about this section right here. Let's say that this half right here is like last week. Now what happened is that I got really sick, and since Forex trading is something you can do from your house, from the comfort of your room, if you want to, I was trading anyway, and I was trying to keep up my same process that I usually do. I noticed that my consistency immediately started going down. I ended up having like 3 consecutive days of lost trade after lost trade after lost trade, and this has never really happened to me before, but I've also haven't been sick in the last, I don't know, a few months. I realized that if you have somewhat of a cold or a fever and you're not feeling 100%, at least personally with me, and I think I wouldn't be the only one to say that, but it messes with your psychology, messes with your trading like ability. It could be that I took these trades because I was maybe a little bored, so I was, trigger happy. I'd make a trade and then it would go the wrong direction, and after a couple hours I would see it, and I'd notice that my facts were like wrong. They were mistakes, and I had to cut them at loss for a couple days while I was feeling really bad, and I realized at that point that you can't do that. So I closed my trades and I didn't do anything else until the next week. But then the moment this week started, right here, it all turned around and it started just being positive. And as you can see, this week I had 4 really quite big, successful trades, and I had a couple of minor setbacks. I have a little bit of a surprise for you right now, because I actually managed to catch this one on video. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. This is still regarding the UK election. So on Tuesday, they were going to release a YouGov poll, which, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is like very reputable. In previous, the YouGov poll had shown a significant majority of seats for the Conservative Party, higher than the Labour Party, and this had boosted the pound into optimism for, I want to say, maybe even a couple of weeks ahead of the elections. But then fast forward to this week on Tuesday, we got a new and updated YouGov poll. Let's check out exactly how it played out. Now here you can see that I was waiting for the news to come out. I was preparing my different currency pairs that I would want to trade. So pretty much, depending on the news, I would pick a certain currency pair to go for it. I was always going to do a pound US dollar, and I was going to pick either the pound Australia dollar or the pound yen based on the current risk sentiment of the market. So you can see the moment that I got the news, I managed to act. I placed a short trade on the pound US dollar and on the pound yen. And then when the news, the headlines finally hit the wires, you can see another reaction, which happens right there. There we go. So as you can see, we got the news relatively early based on what the market's reactions were, which continued like this for, I want to say, maybe at least a half an hour after we finished. So this is a place where you enter the short position, and over the next minutes you see the market react pretty violently to the news, and we managed to secure in our position right on time. And what I can thank there is the market commentary coming from Forex Source, as well as the squawk. Let's fast forward to at least what I recorded here on the screen, and we will see that the price continued to drop below. Now here, just in these 2 trades, like at this moment right here, we can see about a 3% on the portfolio gain, which was, I want to say, a little bit too easy. It feels easy, but that's the benefit you get from being informed, from just being there. The same way I did this, I managed to handle several different news throughout the week, like, well, that's this one, but all of them worked in a little bit of a similar fashion. Some of the trades I do take, which tend to be pretty successful as well, are just waking up and following the day's current dominant sentiment. You can find this here in the Forex Source terminal. You go into the market insights, and also several times a day they post dominant currency sentiment. For example, let's see, on Friday they say, although the pound remains the strongest currency on the day, today's European session has seen the currency continue to pull off its election impaired gains. So with there, you can kind of say, all right, the strongest mover of the day is the British pound, but you can see there that maybe it's not a good moment to trade, or perhaps it's just a retracement and it's a great moment to trade. Those are all things that are left to the trader's discretion. The context that you get from the terminal is really, really that good. The main major opportunity that did happen this week was the result of the British elections based on the exit poll. The market had a crazy reaction to it. Unfortunately, I was driving at the moment. I couldn't really act on what was happening. And just to show you on what I actually really kind of missed out on, something that I could have caught the same way that I did the last trade with the audio squawk. It was moving sideways for really quite a long time, and then suddenly at 4 p.m. we see this huge candle, and we can see that in total the move was of about 400 pips. This is pound yen, and it moved in a similar fashion pretty much across the board. How could we have been able to trade this? In the same way that we got news relatively early from the squawk, what I did is I was driving, right? So immediately my phone started blowing up with notifications, and I was like, I have to get in on this. So I pulled over and I managed to place a trade, luckily right somewhere here in this retracement. I wrote it up to pretty much the top, and and this is one of my final trades that you can see right here. It was also really quite good, but nowhere near as good as it could have been if I would have caught it, let's say, down here, which is what realistically would have happened had I been tuned in. So that was quite a shame. But anyway, I managed to get some profits out of it, so I really can't complain. So anyway, that's a quick summary of my last 2 weeks of trading. First, if you're sick, if you're not feeling well, stay away from your account because it causes more damage than good. And secondly, don't be driving when the election polls close, because you will miss out on the biggest opportunity that's maybe been in this entire month. It's the biggest, easiest trade that you could have taken, and I missed it, which sucks. But what's beautiful about the Forex market is that next week the focus will be somewhere else, and we will see some new moves and definitely some new trading opportunities. I'm extremely excited with how my account is growing right now. Like you can see, I've made some projections for yearly returns based on my performance over this last month, and it is astounding. It's very exciting. Now, if you have any questions, any comments about the way I trade or anything, I'd be happy to perhaps even make a video about it. So let me know in the comments down below. I get like 1 comment per video, so I will definitely be able to answer, and I will see you in the next video.